Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Grace Collingwood of gracecollingwood.com. I'm a wife, a mother, a registered nurse. I'm the CEO of Healthy Wealthy Mama. And what I do is that I teach women holistic health through nutrition and training of the mind and body. If you want more information about what I do and how I'm able to help people lose more than 10 pounds in 4 weeks, go to gracecollingwood.com, read about some of my testimonials, and yeah, there's a free 30-minute consultation call that you can book, and we can talk. I explain to you how to know your ideal weight for your height. All right, it's very important that for your height you know how much you have to weigh and work towards it, work towards that ideal weight. It's going to help you in the long run. It's going to help you health wise. It's going to help you so that you're taking off some of these medications that you're on. All right, and also how to eat healthy, because there's certain people who don't really have that much of a weight, but because of the way they eat, they are on so many medications, so many heart pills, so many pills that are going to eventually cause some kidney diseases, that are going to cause extra diseases that you're going to get more medications for. So if you're on any medication, reach out to me. Let's talk. Go to gracecollingwood.com, book a consultation call. Let's have a Zoom meeting, and I'll explain to you how you can lose that weight or how you can get off those medications. And if you're somebody that just want to lose weight, you just feel like, hey, I feel like I'm overweight, or you're somebody that's always constipated, you can't have a good bowel movement, and all the food that you ate is just stuck in you, you need some detoxing. Okay, I'm selling some detox tea for $25. It lasts you a whole week. A gallon, it makes a gallon of tea, and you stand a chance of losing 5 pounds in 5 days just drinking that tea. All right, so make sure that you reach out to me, whichever way, shape, or form that you need to lose weight or have a good bowel movement or just cleanse your system. You need some detoxing. All right, reach out to me, or you can also go to my page, gracecollingwood.com, schedule an appointment, and let's talk. Today, I'm going to talk about 4 simple rules to follow when cooking. Okay, when you're cooking, first off, don't even go get any fast food or any food that's sold outside. It's because of business. So they will use ingredients that are very cheap, but be able to get their profit from it, right? And most of these processed foods are made, so they are made more, there's more of it compared to natural foods. So first off, if you're cooking your food, well, I'll clap my hands for you. All right, if you're cooking your food, I'll clap my hands for you. All right, so that means you've stayed away from buying foods from outside, processed foods and whatever. But today we're going to talk about, even when you're cooking, there are certain rules that you have to follow, or you're going to eat certain foods that's gonna make you sick. All right, so we are going to talk about the 4 rules to follow when cooking. 4 rules to follow when cooking. All right, 4 rules to follow when cooking. Number 1 is clean. Clean. As simple as that. Clean, girl. Clean, 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 clean. All right, make sure that you're cleaning. All right, don't just start cooking and no, don't do that. Clean the area where you're doing the cooking. Okay, how do you clean? You can use soap and water for whatever. Even some of the foods that you clean, you can actually use soap. The soap that we use to wash dishes, it's good enough to wash fruits and veggies. If you're using that to wash your plate and you're eating from that plate, it means that it's good enough, right? So you can use that to wash your fruits and vegetables. Just make sure that you're really rinsing it and you're not putting too much soap in it. Okay. All right. So make sure that you clean. Cleaning the area and also the food prevents bacteria from spreading by washing hands. Also, another thing is washing hands. It's part of the cleaning. You wash your hands, okay? Make sure you run the water. Some people do hand washing and you're like, even some nurses do some hand washing and you're like, you're done? They just, they're done. No. When you went to nursing school, you had to do this hand washing. But you have to count all the way from ABC all the way up to Z, or you have to sing I believe it's the happy birthday song or twice or something like that. Make sure that you're washing in between the fingers, you're washing the thumb, you're washing the palm of your hands, you're washing your knuckles, you're washing your wrist. UK, this part is, I've realized that here the wrist is not really a big deal. But UK, you wash your wrist as well. You're washing every part of your hands. You're going under your nails, like proper wash. All right. So you're washing your hands, you're washing the foods, you're also the countertop, you're cleaning, you're also the utensils, the open surface, you're cleaning. Do you know what? When we were so much into cleaning, my husband's like that too, into cleaning so much to the point where when COVID came, we did not have a problem with cleaning stuff. When COVID came, people were like, because before COVID, it wasn't a normal thing that people would be washing their hands. And one thing, with my church, you have to like greet people, shake hands, and, hug people. Even in those days when it wasn't COVID era, I had an issue with shaking hands. Man, do you know where those hands have been? I've been in public bathrooms where people would just finish using the toilet. Well, I'm from England, so I call it toilet. So they would use the bathroom or the toilet. They would use it and just flush the toilet and walk out. At one point, I went to that's why I don't like eating outside. A buffet. This lady was working on the floor. I think she was in charge of, was it shrimp section? I can't remember what section. I was in the bathroom. She came in, used the bathroom, and when she finished, she walked out. She flushed the toilet and walked out of the bathroom, did not wash her hands. So I was following her, and then right away she went to her station, took the spoon, was like mixing things up. So I went to the front desk and I told the manager, I said, listen, I saw this lady who just finished using the bathroom, walk out, did not wash her hands, and she came and held and started, doing whatever on the floor. Seriously. I felt it so disgusting to the point that I didn't even want to go to the lady and say, hey, I just saw you. I did not even go close to that thing, that area. I felt so disgusted. I know maybe I should have done something more, but for me, I don't even like eating outside. It's my husband who just loves for us to, at one point, let's just go outside and eat. Other than that, I would eat my wache, jollof, banku, kenke. I'll eat my local food 24/7. I don't care. But sometimes he just wants us to go outside and eat. And that's the only reason why I would really go outside. But it really puts me off. So the point I'm making is that make sure that you're somebody that washes your hands. Listen, I've seen certain nurses go into patient room without gloves. Sometimes you're doing a shift change report, and then maybe the day shift nurse would be like, so today the patient did this and did that. Oh, I can see that the trach has a dressing on it. Oh, sorry, I didn't tape it well. And they use their hands to, no, put on some gloves, girl. Do you know what's on that person's skin? The person's in the hospital. And people going into rooms that people, the patients in contact, and they're just going in and out without gowning up, without wearing gloves. Come on now. Come on. One time I heard a social worker report a doctor that the doctor, this patient had C. diff. C. diff is this it's I think it's got this particular bacteria that, you know, certain bacteria, when they are dead, they have a coat that covers them. And the moment they get into the right environment, the coat comes off and they start working. It's so bad. Other bacteria, when you use certain antibacteria antibiotics, it kills them totally. But C. diff itself, it has a way of like covering, the bacteria has a way of covering itself when it's not in the right environment, when it's out, when it's like on surfaces, it covers itself. And the moment it gets into an intestine, it starts working. That's why C. diff is so serious. So if you are looking after a patient and it's the person has C. diff, don't even joke about it. Don't joke about it. Just recently, my daughter was having like consistent bowel movements. As soon as we went to the GI doctor, the pediatric GI doctor, the first thing he asked was, "I hope you're not a nurse, are you?" I said, "Yes, I am a nurse." And right away he said, "We have to go check for C. diff in my daughter's stool." You know, it's that serious that maybe he's concerned that maybe I could have maybe brought some bacteria home, and maybe that's what's causing that. But it's not. That wasn't the case in her case. I'm so particular when it comes to hand washing, gowning up, and it takes a long time to do that. And sometimes, and I always have tons of gloves in my pocket. I don't just take 2 gloves to wear. I have tons of gloves in my pocket all the time. So anywhere I am, whether I'm walking in the highway, in the hallway in the hospital, and I see something on the floor, I have a glove in my pocket that I can take out, put it on, and grab that thing. I'm not touching anybody's anything. Okay. So back to point. Before you eat, clean, clean, clean. Let that be a normal thing for you. Wear gloves, wash your hands, do hand sanitizing. Make sure you're very particular about what goes on your hands, okay? And your foods, like I said, you can wash your foods, get bacteria off your foods, wash your hands, make sure that you clean your surfaces. You're not contaminating stuff, okay? All right. Number 2. So I said 4 points, right? Number 1 is clean. Number 2, separate, separate, separate. So the 4 points are clean, separate, cook, and chill. All right. So we've done the clean. Now we are on separate. All right. We are on separate. So with regards to separate, avoid cross-contamination. Avoid cross-contamination by putting raw meats away from ready-to-eat foods. My mom takes this to a different level. My mom has different chopping boards for everything. Oh my goodness. She has a red chopping board for red meat. I think she has a green one for vegetables, white one for bread. Different. My mom, and these are not like tiny chopping boards. These are big, massive chopping boards. Oh my goodness. And I find it so amazing that I lived with this woman for so long and there's certain things I didn't really learn from her. But, you know, honestly, I will never ever cut some chicken on a board and then finish and use it to you know, cut vegetables. No, I'll never do that. But my mom takes it to a whole new level. She's got different chopping boards for different things. So number 2, being separate, avoid cross-contamination by putting raw meats away from ready-to-eat foods. So anything that's raw, it can have bacteria in it that can really seriously affect your stomach. Tapeworms can be in foods. Tapeworm, I know of a patient who was admitted with seizures, and everybody in the medical team thought that it's the patient's normal, condition that they have seizures. But then the mom was like, no, it's the seriousness of the seizures, there must be something wrong. And then lo and behold, she's found some worms in the child's stool. And then she did some research and found out that these particular worms, when they die off, they produce certain toxins that causes seizures. So, so you might think that it's just, well, I just didn't wash my hands. So it's just, well, I just used it to cut meat. What's the point? I mean, it's not a big deal. I can use the same board to chop off certain things. But you're introducing something into your belly that's going to, do you know what seizures do to you? Every time that you get a certain level of seizures, you lose a certain function of your brain. So the more seizures, and these are not like tiny seizures, it's called grand mal, like the big massive seizures where you're like shaking and grinding your teeth and you're hitting your head. It's serious, and it's just from worms. So yeah, let's be very careful with how we prepare our foods. I know sometimes we, as mothers, we just want to do things very quickly and move on, but we have to be very, very mindful of how we are doing things and not do shortcuts. Imagine if this is your child and you, as the mother, you've been cutting I've seen some parents buy a whole cow and they share it amongst different, friends go and buy a whole cow, and they cut the parts and put it in the freezer for so long, and they're eating it little by little. It's gonna take a whole year to finish that cow. It's gonna be a whole year to finish that cow. That's why I don't even bother myself eating meat. I eat chicken. You could argue whether chicken is meat or not. I don't even care. But so people, get cow meat and they share it, and and you're thinking, come on now, yeah, clean, separate, please, 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 separate stuff from stuff. Number 3, before I go to number 3. If you need some help losing weight, or maybe you don't need help losing weight, maybe you just need help getting off your medications. Listen, if you're on diabetes medications and you've been on it and you think it's okay to continue to be on metformin, girl, in 15 years time, research has shown that when you're diagnosed with diabetes, in 15 years time, that's when certain organs are starting to fail. So if you were diagnosed with diabetes by age 30, 15 years by age 45, your kidneys are shutting, you're becoming blind, your heart, your blood vessels are all eroded, including the blood vessels in your brain, which can pop at any time and cause aneurysms and hemorrhages in your brain, which can cause you stroke. Diabetes, listen, if you always listen to me, I'll always let you know that if you're on diabetes medications, get help. For whatever reason you're on that medication, you're not doing something right. You're overweight and have to lose the weight, or your diet, the food that you're eating, is not helping you, or you're not exercising enough to burn calories, or you're not exercising enough for the insulin that your body is producing to be efficient enough to work properly. You need help. If you've been on diabetes medications and you keep going every 3 months, they do tests and they still keep you on those medications. Listen, you're not doing something right. You need help. You can't be on medications for the rest of your life. All those medications have side effects. Diabetes alone will cause another disease where you will need another medication for it. All right? Okay. So if you need help, that's my website, gracecollinwood.com. You can schedule an appointment for us to talk. All right. Number 3, cook. Cook food for proper amount of time and on correct heat to eliminate bacteria. I think our problem with, well, where I come from, Ghana, is that we overcook foods because we know that we have to really cook it well so that we don't leave bacteria in it. But then we cook, and then now it's like destroyed. We have tons and tons of vegetables in our foods, but because of the way we cook, we destroy all the nutrients. So you really have to know how to really seriously include cook it properly. Know the amount of temperature, like I said, know the proper amount of time and on correct heat. You have to know all these things. Girl, if you don't know these things, that's a big problem. You have to know these things. The particular food, I'm from Ghana. I cook jollof. If I want to add mixed vegetables to my jollof, I know when to put it in. I know I've seen people actually put mixed vegetables in when, the jollof has almost cooked and is about to finish cooking. At that time, fine, is gonna, steam it a little bit. But I feel like at that time, it's so close to the end that it won't have enough heat to destroy any bacteria that's around it. So, I mean, it's up to you. But this is how I cook mine. When I do the stew and I put the water in, I put my mixed vegetables in it. Okay, I put it in before I even put the rice and start cooking. All right, so it's up to you, but just be mindful of the amount of time that you have to cook the food so that the bacteria doesn't stay in it. All right. Ethel says overcooking is an African problem. Yeah, we have tons of vegetables in our food. But I remember there was this lady who was cooking. I think we went to visit her, and it was like 4 hours. We were there, in those days where when we you're just traveled and you're trying to use the African way of, you go visit somebody and you're there all day. These days you don't do that. The person will even ask you, when are you leaving? You can't stay in somebody's house for 4 hours. You just came to visit. Well, we've talked, I've given you something to eat, you're still sitting here 4 hours. What are you doing? I've got so much to do. But anyway, this lady was like cooking and cooking and cooking in the kitchen. I'm like, what are you cooking? What on earth can stay on the stove for so long? This is what I do. We have like 4 burners on the stove, right? Every burner, when I'm standing to cook, every burner has something on it. When I do a stew, or when I blend tomatoes and pepper and onions, I blend it once. I have an idea that I have the whole blend is gonna go for jollof, is gonna go, or stew, is gonna go for my soup, is gonna go for whatever. So I blend enough once. And then if I'm doing stew on this burner, the oil is on, I'm pouring the whatever in, the jollof side is here, I'm pouring whatever in. The spinach stew is on the other burner. I'm doing that. I'm cooking some yam. All 4 burners are working. So by the time I'm done, I've prepared like 4-5 meals for the week. We have to learn some time management, girl. So listen, you can't just cook one soup for 4 hours. And that cow feet thing. My sister is like, you are dry. You people who attack you, I don't care. The cow feet. Why on earth? And cow skin. What does it even do to us? The stomach doesn't even digest it. It does not get digested. I think it's just because we've been raised up with it. We just eat animal skin. Anyway, so that thing you can cook and cook and cook and cook and cook. When you finish and you're chewing it, it's like gum. I don't waste my time on foods that I have to take so much time. Listen, I want to go to heaven. I want to do things quick, get on to the next thing, get on to the next thing, because I don't know if tomorrow is mine. I want to make today as efficient as possible. So cook well. That was number 3. Number 4, chill, girl, chill, chill, chill. All right, chill. Keeping leftover food cold prevents foodborne illnesses. So let's say this is what we do. I sit down at a dining table. I remember that, well, growing up, even though my mom is so organized with everything cooking, we never sat down to eat as a family. It's a Western thing. It's not an African thing. I haven't really seen Africans do it, except if they themselves adapt it. Food is ready. Come grab your food. Everybody just comes, grabs theirs. They go sit somewhere and eat. It's not a whole family sitting down and somebody serving. Is not part of my culture. But I adopted it because I knew I wanted to know how much my children are eating and how much they're not eating. So I adopted this thing. Our dining table previously used to be a table where we would just leave our meal were on it, and I was in school at the time, my exercise books, everything but food. So at some point I was like, no, 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 this dining table has to change. That's the reason why we have a dining table. So I cleared my whole dining table, and every evening, if I'm home, because I do night shift and I have to leave home by latest by 5:30, 5:45 to go to work. So the days that I'm home, I'm creating, I've done the meal, I heat the food, put it in the center, we sit down, I serve. And it's intentional. I serve my husband first, he gets his food, and then I serve everybody, starting from the oldest David to Shirley to Marie, and then to me. Okay, I share it amongst us, and then when we finish, and I make sure that I know how much everybody can eat. Shirley, the middle one, she's very tough. When I mean, you have to really like look at her food. You still got about 2 scoops to go. You still have, but Marie, the youngest one, she will eat. She's got a lot of energy. But Shirley is the very quiet person, not very, she's not as fast and very energetic as the young one. So naturally she just takes time with her food, and she's looking at you, she tastes this, she's like she doesn't want to eat, so you be like, yes, you have to finish that food, you have to whatever. So we finish, and maybe there's some left over. Rarely though, because I sort of know how much everybody can eat, because now I know if I give too much to this person, it's going to be a waste. So most of the time, if there's something left over, I put it in a plastic bag container, cover it, and chill it. I put it in the fridge for another time. Okay. Or the chilling part, which is number 4, I also cook a whole meal for the whole week. I'm not going to stand on my feet every evening cooking. I used to do that when I was doing home health and I was home every single day. I would just do the stew, and then the other things I would do on that day. But now I'm like, doing night shifts and stuff. Girl, I've done the whole a whole big pot of soup is in the fridge. I've got a whole tray of jollof in the fridge. I've got a whole tray of spinach stew. All you have to do is, if you need yam, you just cook the yam, get some spinach stew or whatever. But on the days that I'm home, I'm serving, and whatever is done is left over, we put it in the fridge. Make sure that you're chilling your foods. Don't waste foods like that. No, 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 no. Don't let your kids just throw foods away. Even sometimes the kids, you might think that they can eat the whole food, but you realize that they really can't eat. They seriously, it's not like they're just being, picky. They just cannot eat that day. So you get a bowl, put it in, and if you want to put their name on it, fine. So that next time they finish it. Okay. You're saving some money. All right, you're saving some money, and forget buying foods from outside. Those of us who are very professionals, going to work, even on my unit, people order Uber Eats, and you must see the foods that's sitting in front of them, and you're like, why? And in my coaching, I teach about reading food labels. The percentages, what does it mean? The calories, what does it mean? When it says 5% sodium, what does it mean? You have to know all these things, or your weight loss is going to be like you're doing everything possible, but it's just not happening. All right. That's why people just drop the weights in my coaching within the day. Today, I met a lady at church and she was like, you know what? This dress, I could not wear it. Within a week, look at me. I'm wearing this outfit. Yeah. I was saying to myself, yeah, I know that. If only you follow what I'm teaching, you won't have a problem. All your beautiful outfits that's just sitting in there, oh, you're going to wear them. You're going to wear them because the program works. All right, I'm going to go. So thank you so much for joining me. Thanks, Ivy Brown, Ethel. Oh, thank you so much, sis. Julie AB, Heather Afamasaga. Thank you all for joining me. Please do me a favor. Please share this video to all your friends, your African friends. Tell them a sister here wants them to hear this. Your Hispanic friends, your white friends, your black friends, your whatever friends, your family, everybody, share this video with them. Okay, this is very important, and let's live a healthy lifestyle. All right, love you all. Bye bye now.